Hello, Philip here. In this video, I want to show you the new features from newly released Next.js 13 framework. As I'm recording this video, the Next.js 13 was rolled out just 2 days ago, so I think it's a good time to show or preview some of the new features while we'll be coding the project. So, you can open the website nextjs.org/blog/next13. You can read in your free time about the new features of the Next.js 13. The most important one from all the features, I guess, is the app folder. So there is a new folder which has new functionalities, and I will show you throughout this video what new functionalities you can find there. The most important here are layouts, React server components, and the streaming. The other new feature of the Next.js is the faster build time. So they are using Turbopack, is the Rust-based bundling tool. And then you have a new next image. All right, so you don't need to any longer, according to this documentation, you don't need to provide any width and height to the image. And it should work without this, and also should provide easier, the layout of the image should be much easier in the HTML. It should be much simpler actually, because before when you provided the image, it's oftentimes it destroyed your layout of your page. And now it shouldn't be the case. Then you have a new link. All right, so improve next link. You don't need to provide any longer a element into the link. There should be somewhere example. Where is this link? Here, you don't need to provide a element into the link. Okay, so that's the faster builds, image, link, and also, of course, you have a font, so easier way to get a font into your application. You just need to provide it through the class name. You will import the font from the next folder, and you will provide it through the class name. All right, I would like to start with the project, and we will preview all of the features of the app directory on this project while we will be coding it. So I highly encourage you, while you're watching this video, to code along with me and follow my steps. Of course, you don't need to do it, but I think it's better to learn this way. Let's go to the Next.js website and we'll initialize the project. To initialize the project is very simple. Just copy the command pnpm create next-app, or use npx if you don't have a pnpm. Go to your terminal, find the folder where you want to initialize the project, paste the command pnpm create next-app, and just select the project name. I will call it the next13-preview. I'll press the enter. This will install dependencies. While this will be installing, I will go to my Visual Studio Code. I will locate the project here, open, and here it is, Next13 preview, and we can start out. Okay, I will check if it's initializing. Still, no, it's done. So we can run here npm run dev like this. All right, actually, I need to go to the project folder, cd Next13 preview, and now npm run dev. Okay, I made a mistake, like this. Now let's go to the localhost 3000 to open the project. This is the initial project. Now we are going to break it down. So in order to use the app folder, you need to I will remove the pages folder. They can exist along together, but I will remove the pages folder. I will show you just app folder. Okay, so let's remove the pages. I will remove also stylings. We don't need all these stylings. We can remove home module.css. So let's remove it. Global CSS. Let's remove almost everything. Just leave here HTML and body. When you will leave the project in such a state, you will load here. Localhost 3000. You will see there is no page that can be displayed, of course, because we have removed all of the pages. So now we are going to initialize this new app folder. To get this new feature, just create here a new folder, call it app, like this. And in next config, we need to explicitly say that we are going to use this feature. We need to write here experimental, like this, app and true. Actually, app dir true, not a dirt, but a dir, like this. Experimental app dir true. Now let's save this. You're going to recompile. Go back here, shut down your server, and let's run npm run dev, like this. Okay, so you can see it was detected. You have enabled experimental feature app dir, next config.js. So now we can use the app folder. Okay, you have an app folder. There are two important things you need to create in the app. The homepage is called page.jsx. Page.jsx. So always when you want to create a page, you will need to create a page.jsx file. I will show you later also. We will create more pages. Okay, so let's get the first page. Very simple one. Export default function page like this, and let's return some JSX return, and let's write here, let's say div, or it can be larger text h1, and let's write here hi there like this. Let's save it this way. Let's go back to the browser, localhost 3000, let's refresh. And you can see you have here hi there page. So that's the home page. You can see it's on the localhost 3000. So that's the first page when somebody will visit your website. As you see, as I wasn't even aware of it, the layout.js was created automatically for me. So now you don't need to create layouts yourselves, but there is a layout that will be wrapping all of your pages, but the page will be under the children. Layout has to have a HTML. You need to create these things by yourself. It has to have a HTML head and a body. I just want to rename layout to layout.jsx. Let's rename it to the layout.jsx like this. Okay, so when I will create here some wrappings around the element, like around the body, here I'll write here, let's say just a wrapping. All right, so let's save this way. Let's get back here. You can see there is a wrapping text around. So with the layout now, you can provide the same layout for multiple pages without creating any additional folders, components. This will be provided automatically to all of your pages. It has to just be called layout. File name has to be layout. Okay, so we can remove this wrapping. In this layout, we can provide the shared parts that will be shared through that will be shared into the other pages. We'll create a navigation bar very soon for this reason. But first, let's improve little bit stylings of our page. So I will remember in the styles we have a global CSS. So let's import these styles here. Let's write here import / from outside of these styles and global CSS. Like this, and now we'll provide some stylings here. They already should be provided as fonts, so when I will go back here, the font should be already provided, so it's a different one. Okay, and we'll just provide some padding and some different width for our page, so everything is easier to see and not in the left corner. Okay, so let's go back to the styles. Let's write here container styles, container. In the container, I will define max width of my page will be, let's say, just 800 pixels. Then a padding will be 200 pixels on the top, and on the sides 50 pixels, and the margin will be auto, and then we'll have some page stylings, page. Okay, so far I am not showing you anything new. The new is just the app folder and the way how we are creating the pages. All right, and the padding here, I will provide a page 20 pixels, and now I will provide this container to my layout, and to the page I will provide a page styling. So go to your layout.jsx. On the body, let's write your class name, let's write your container, and let's go to the page JSX, and here we can wrap it in a div like this, and class name, and this will be container page. Like this, and then you will go back here. It should be more in the middle. There is a hide there. Okay, now we are going to create some navigation, so we can create more pages. Okay, so in the app folder, I will create a new folder. I will call it shared. In the shared folder, I will create a new file. I will call it navbar.jsx. This will be my navbar component. I'll write here export default function navigation like this, return here some JSX. Okay, and we will create here some navigation items. So we'll write here const links. This will be array of the objects like this, where each object will be defined the name of the link, which in this case I will create a home page. The path to this will be just an empty slash. I will create 2 more paths like this. I will create, let's say, testing pages for blocks and products. Blocks and products. On our web page will be displaying some products and the blocks. The paths to this will be /blocks, and here will be /products. Okay, to display the navigation, now we will return from here div like this. Curly brackets will iterate through the links, links.map. All right, map over the links, and display here the link. So here I will display the link component. From the next link, you need to import it, link from next link. All right, it can be self-closed. And here you need to provide a key. Whenever you're iterating items, this can be just a link dot name. All right, and the href, this will be the path, href, and this will be link dot path. Also, we need to display some text. So in the end, I will remove the self-closing tag and I will close it like this. And in the middle, I will provide the curly brackets, and here will be a link dot name like this. And between each link, I will write a space. So I'll write here curly brackets and empty string backticks like this. And actually, it should be inside after the name this way. So we have a navigation. And now we can provide navigation to our layout. So let's go to layout.jsx, and let's provide here under the body. Let's write here navigation, and let's import it from the shared navbar like this. Let's save it this way, and now we have a navigation. And this navigation should be provided on every page because it's part of the layout, and part of the layout is part of every page. Now, with the layout here, we are going to create multiple pages. So since we have created navigation to the blocks and to the products, let's create the pages for this. So I'll create in the app folder a new folder. I will call it blocks. New folder again, I will call it products. Whenever you want to register the page, you need to create a page.jsx. So I will create a new file. I will call it page.jsx in the products, and in the blocks the same page.jsx. We'll create a very simple page. Let's write here export default function. This will be the blocks page like this. Return here something. Let's write here div with the class name of the page like this, and h1 inside. And I will write here hi there blocks page like this, so we can have something to display. Now let's copy this. Go to the products page.jsx. Let's paste it here, and let's call it products page. Products page, and hi there products page. Okay. So we have a blocks folder, a products folder, and inside we have a page.jsx, which will generate this path localhost 3000 /blocks and localhost 3000 /products, where when we'll access these paths, the page will be rendered out. Okay, so now when I will go back to browser, I can click on the products link, and this will lead me to the localhost 3000 /products, hide their blocks page. I will click on the products and hide their products page. So blocks page, products page, and you can notice how the URL is changing. So this is the way how you create a multiple routes. Remember always to provide page.jsx file. Now we are going to create some testing detail pages. So detail pages you are creating like this. I want to show you how you can cover any detail page or any sub page you want to display. You will provide the dynamic route. The dynamic route you will create like this. Let's say in the blocks folder, we will create a new folder. Make sure it's folder, and dynamic part you will wrap in the square brackets. We will create a square brackets. Let's say this will be, we'll be returning here parameter of Slack like this, and under this folder name you will provide not index but a page.jsx. Okay, let's say products will have a different dynamic part. I will create here a new folder under the products. I will call it square brackets and ID, and under ID I will create a new file. I will call it page.jsx, and now I'm going to create these pages. I will simply just copy page I have here for the blocks page, copy everything, go to the Slack folder, paste it here, and let's call it block detail page, block detail page. All right, and go to the Slack, not to the Slack, to the ID page.jsx, and let's call it product detail page. Product detail page, and hide there detail page. I'll call it hide there product detail page, and the same for my Slack page.jsx. Go back here. I'll write here hide there block detail page. Now we have this dynamic part, which we call Slack in the case of the blocks. In the case of the products, we call ID. But now what I can do, I can go to the blocks, and any subpath I can go /blocks/hello. And you can see hide there block detail page. Okay, I can go to the products, and I can go to the product /12. And I will go to the block detail page. I can go to the /product/25 or 45, and it will always display this detail page, because this page here, dynamic part in a square bracket, is covering all of these subpaths. What I cannot do, I cannot go into the, let's say, product/45/ some other page. This I cannot do. This I will get the error. But actually, I can do it if I will define the path like this: products ID. Let's change the folder name. Let's rename this, and let's write here 3 dots in the front of the ID, and now it will cover any subpath. Okay, .ID, and then now I will be able to go here /45/ some other page /whatever. I can go now to any subpath. But let's go to the main path here, just a /products. Okay, so how can I get this dynamic parameter when I will going to the blocks / let's say hello or whatever? How I get this dynamic part? I will show you now. Go back to code. So since we are calling this page, we are creating this page under the dynamic part of in a square bracket Slack. This way I can specify here curly brackets. I can write here params. And now I can retrieve here these params. I can write here column in JSX and the curly brackets and the params.slack. And this will retrieve me these params. The same thing I can do with the ID. Go to the page.jsx. Write here column. I can retrieve the params here. Params, and I can write here curly brackets and the params.id. In this case, ID, because I'm calling this dynamic parameter ID in the blocks square bracket Slack, I'm calling this dynamic parameter Slack, so that's why I need to have anything here Slack. Okay, and now let's see. So you can see hide there block detail page whatever. I can write here something. Hide there block detail page something. I can write here 25. Hide there block detail page 25. Similar with the products, I can go /products/hello detail page hello. I can go /world detail page hello world. You can see how these parts are joined together. Hello world 25. Okay, and I'm getting this parameter of ID hello world 25. So that's what I'm getting here. Okay, so that's the dynamic pages. Now I will cover groupings, how you can create groups. Let's say we'll have 2 more pages. Let's create, I will close all of these files, close others. All right, so I'll create here in the app folder, I will create here a new folder. I will call it, let's say, shop, and one folder, new folder, I will call it dashboard. I will create a page.jsx in both of the folders. So in the shop, I will create a new file page.jsx. In the dashboard, I will create a new file page.jsx. Let's copy some simple page. So go, for example, to products page.jsx, copy this page, get to the dashboard. Let's call it just a dashboard page. Dashboard page, and hide there and dashboard page. I will copy this. I will go to the shop page. I will copy it, paste it here. I will call it shop page, and hide there shop page. Now I will create the links to this in new pages. So go to the shared folder, go to the navbar.jsx, create here new paths like this to dashboard and to shop, and to here will be dashboard/shop. Save it this way, go back to browser. Now you should have here these new links. Click on dashboard, hide their dashboard page, hide their shop page. Perfect. Now what I want to do is to create separate layout for our let's say shop page. You can do it. You can just go to the shop page, shop folder. You can create here a new file. It has to be called layout.jsx. It's very important. And here just export default function shop layout like this. You will get here children, and let's display it like this. Let's write here return and return here a section. Oops, like this, and here will be, let's write here h2 and welcome to our shop, and under the h2 I will render our children like this. This is the shop layout and will be provided only to our page.jsx in the shop folder and all of the pages in the shop folder only. So when I will go to the, let's refresh, let's go to the home page, blogs page, products page, everything the same, dashboard page same, and a shop. And you can see here we have a layout, wrapping our page, welcome to our shop, and here is our page. So this wrapping has been created of this layout here, welcome to our shop, and the children, which is the page.jsx. Now, what if I want to share the layout, but I don't want to change the structure of my paths? I can create a grouping. Grouping you will create like this. Create here a new folder in the app folder. New folder. Call it, groupings are in normal brackets like this. So create here brackets and call this folder welcome, like this. Now move your shop folder into the welcome folder, like this. Move it. Move your dashboard folder into the welcome folder, like this. Okay, so now we have in the welcome folder, you have two folders, dashboard and the shop. And from the shop folder, extract layout.jsx into the welcome folder like this, move. So now you have this structure. In the normal brackets, welcome, then you have a folder as dashboard and the shop, and then you have a layout.jsx. What this will ultimately do is that this will provide a layout to both of your pages, dashboard and the shop, and any page that will be contained in the welcome folder, but this will not change the path of these pages. It will not create any new path. So when I will navigate now to the, let's go here, you can see home is all the same, blogs is the same, products is the same, but when I will go to the dashboard, I will display here welcome to our shop, and I will go to the shop, the same thing, welcome to our shop. So the layout is now provided also to the dashboard because it's part of this grouping here. And groupings you are creating in the normal brackets. So folder name in the normal brackets. This will not create any new path, but it will group pages together. So for example, if you need to create different layouts for the pages, but you don't want to change the paths of the pages, then you will use this route groupings. Okay, so biggest feature of Next 13 is that everything contained in the app folder is basically a React server component. It should be stated somewhere here. Let me see here. Server components. Okay, so the app directory introduces support of React new server components architecture. What does this mean? That whenever you are creating any new components in the app folder, they will be not part of the JavaScript that is sent to the browser, because the JavaScript will render out itself on the server. So all these components that are here, they will be rendered out on the server, and what you will get back to the browser is just the HTML. You don't really need to know that very details here. Is this just improving the speed, how the page is displayed in your browser, especially when you are in the slow networks. Okay, so now everything is server component. Everything what's in the app folder is a server component. Even normal components that usually would be the client components are now React components, and I can prove it to you. So let's create here a component in the shared folder. Let's create a new file here, and let's call it word generator. .jsx. I will create here just very simple components. Right here, export default function of word generator like this. Return here some JSX. Okay, we'll return here div for now and hello world. So before in React.js, this would be considered as a client component, right? So you can use here normal functions like use effect, right? I can use here use effect, and use effect. I can, for example, write console log hello world like this. Now let's use this word generator. So go to the, for example, to the topmost layout in the app folder. So go to layout.jsx. Under the children, let's write here word generator like this. Let's say, let's go back to browser. When you will refresh on localhost 3000, you will see your importing component that needs use effect. It only works in a client component, but none of its parents is marked as the use client. So you can see by the default, all the components are the server components, and in the server components, you cannot use lifecycle functions or hook functions such as use state or use effect as we are doing in our for generator, because everything is rendered out on the server and these functions are not executed there. So when we want to create a classic client components now, you need to mark here on the top here the string, which will say here use client. And this will transform it back to the normal client component. And when I will save it this way, you can see hello world is here. So the client component was generated. So as I was mentioning, the server components should decrease your package size. The JavaScript, the runtime you are shipping to the browser, especially on it's very beneficial on the cell network. What does it mean for the components that are rendered on the server, that these components can communicate with databases and to the server-side code, which is usually the secure code. That's one of the biggest benefits. Okay, let's create here some normal code. So we can see that we can use here now as a client component, as we have here client component, use state and all these things. I want to generate here some random words. So let me do it. I will create here some words. We'll be generating from. Let's write here const words, and just place here some random words. Hello, hi, cat, house. Okay, just some random words that just comes to your mind immediately. Table, audio, video. Okay, I think that's enough. Okay, some random words. Then we'll create a function generate to generate these words, and I'll write here const random word, which I will generate like this. I will create here, I will access the words at the index, which index I will generate randomly. I'll write here math.floor in the normal brackets math.random like this. To call this math.random, I will multiply it by the words dot length. I'm missing here a bracket. This will generate me random word, and random word I will set to the state. So first I need to keep here some state. I will write here const in the square brackets word and set word, and I use state will be, I'll write here some default value, nothing yet, and set smile. Okay, so we have a generate function. Now we can generate some words. So instead of displaying here hello world, I will write here a button. All right, and this button will have, actually this button will have an on click. Then we'll click on the button. I will generate a new word. So I'll write here generate like this, and here we'll be displaying in the button text generate word, and under the button I will write the generated word. So div. And he will be generated, column, curly brackets, and word. And this word we are generating, we need to also set to the state. I forgot about this. I will here set word and word. Okay, so this will be the word generator. Okay, save it this way. Back to browser, refresh, and generate word. And you should be able to generate, but I see here nothing yet. Okay, let me see. Okay, this is not related to us. I'll just let me take calculator. This should be set word random word here in a generate function. Now it should work. So I will click on the word, and now I'm randomly generating. Okay, so we have normal classical client component. Okay, so that's how Next.js together with the React.js now works. Everything is rendered out on the server. If you want to render out something on the client, you need to mark it explicitly, at least in this version of the Next.js. Now we will talk about the lifecycle functions such as getStaticProps, getStaticPaths, as we have been used to the Next.js. In the new Next.js, it's a little bit different. So how we would create a page with the getStaticProps. First, let me go to the code, and we'll go to the products folder into the page.jsx, and we'll fetch here some data of the products. For the products, we'll use the URL. I will show you right here comment, and the URL you can use is https:// just the two slashes product -app -101 server.vercel.app/API/products. When you will use this path, it should be https, you can navigate to this path, and it will display the products. Okay, JSON data of array of the objects where you have products we can use, and I would like to display them in our page. So in the new Next.js version, it's suggested to fetch data like this. You will write your fetcher function, const function get products. Okay, this will be async function. I don't know why I'm writing const function, just a function. All right, you can mark it as an async function. We will fetch this data from the URL I showed you. You can use just a native you can use the native fetch function that's available in the Next.js. You can add your const response. You will use here await and the fetch function that's available in Next.js. And you will provide here this URL I just was mentioning. So I will paste here this URL. And this will get your response, and you want to return from here response.json, because under the JSON you will get your data. In the products page, you will simply write const products equal and use. All right, and you will write here. This use is the new hook function from the React. Actually, like this, you can import it use from React, and you will just provide here get products, and you will call this. Okay, and this is equivalent to write it like this, or to get static props before in the actual write it here. Static props in the old Next.js. Now in the Next.js 13, you can define it like this. Okay, you can see much simpler. And to see that we are actually getting some data, I will display this product. So let's say under this h1, write here div, curly brackets will iterate through this product. So products.map, we'll get here a single product, arrow function, and we'll display here div, close the div. Okay, and here we'll curly brackets product.name, and you need to provide a key whenever you're iterating, and product.name can be provided as well. Okay, allow it save. Go to your product page, and you are displaying all the products I showed you here. All the names of the products are here. So that's the way how now the React.js works. It will generate this page on the build time. Okay, this will get static props to generate a page on the build time. So when you're navigating, you will get here the HTML that has been already pre-generated. I will show you actually. I'll write here console log fetching data. Like this, and I will separate it so you can actually see this happening. All right. Okay, I will go to the terminal. I will shut down my server. I'll run here npm run build. So I'll make a production build of my application, and you will see as I will be building it, I will generate a couple of pages. You can see fetching data. All right. Actually, it was called twice for some reason. Even 4 times for some reason. Okay, maybe some issue with the new Next.js, or maybe it should be called like this. All right, but you see the 7 pages have been generated. You fetch your data, and now when I will start up my server, with the npm start, like this. And I will go to the products page. I'll go to the back to the products. You will see there is no fetching happening. Going back to products, no fetching at all. It just fetched while we are building. While I run command npm run build this page has been created on the server, and now we are getting the already rendered out HTML. What would be equivalent to get server-side props? So whenever you need to have a page that has to be refetched every time, so the data should be refetched every time you are visiting the page, you just need to change the catch strategy. So basically, have you are getting this fetch function, you will write like this. You will write here comma after the URL. You will write here configuration object, and you will write here cache, not a catch, but a cache, and a cache option no dash store. And this is the equivalent of get server-side props. So this function will be called every time you will visit the page. Okay, that this will be the equivalent of get server-side props, right? I think that's how it is. That's how it is called. Now I can show you. I'll go to the terminal. I will rebuild this. I'll write here npm run build. Okay, you can see fetching wasn't happening here, so we didn't generate any page yet. And I'll write here npm start. Okay, and now every time I visit this page, I'll go home, products, fetching data, products. Okay, products, fetching data. So now every time I'm going there, I'm fetching the data. So the new page with the new data can be generated if you have some pages that change a lot. Okay, but for static pages, you can just remove this cache option, and it will be using its static props. If you will provide no store cache, it will be get server-side props. Okay, let's leave it to get static props, which is generally for most of the cases better because it's faster. Okay, so we cover get static props, get server-side props, and now I will show you how to fetch data on the client. Fetch currently doesn't work that well on the client, as I read in the documentation. While I'm recording this video, it can result into multiple re-renders or multiple fetching, refetching of the data. It's not that great, but Next.js is suggesting to use SWR package, which I am using a lot in my project. So let's install it. Let's go to the terminal and let's run here pm install SWR. Very great, very good package for data fetching on a client. And I have some issue here. Issues with pre-dependencies. Okay. For example, I'm missing these dependencies, and I'm not even using a TypeScript. So again, some weird issue. Don't mind it. SWR package has been installed anyway. Let's not make this to slow us, and let's continue. We can fetch the data on the client like this. We'll be fetching data, let's say, on the blocks. I'll create here a new file. I'll call it blocks list.jsx. Basically, I will copy everything I have here in my products page.jsx. I will copy everything from here. I will paste it into the block list.jsx so I can save some time. I'll just call this function block list, and data will be fetching differently. I'll comment it out for now, and I will remove this use hook, and we'll be importing here SWR. So let's write here import use SWR from SWR, and we'll mark this component as a client component because we want to have here fetching on the client. Let here use client on the top of it, and here as you are getting the products. In this case, I'll call it blocks. You will use SWR hook function, and you will provide the path URL from where you want to fetch your data. So I can copy this entire path here, or actually I can just make a subpath of the ending /API/products like this. And the fetcher function you need to provide fetcher function like this, which you need to create by yourself. Fetcher function is very simple. You write here const fetcher. The parameter of this function, you will receive this path of the API/products you are providing here. So I can call it path. All right, and you will just normally fetch data. You will call here the fetch, which is here available in the Next.js environment. Right here backticks, copy this path here, All right, HTTPS product app 101 slash, and here you will write $sign, curly brackets, and the path, because path should be this segment here you are providing to the use SWR, this API slash products. This will join together this will get your data, and it's a promise, so we need to return the JSON data from the den. Just call it the response, and from here return response.json like this. So this is the way how you can get your data on the client if you need so. And now let's display these blocks. So I'll rename just the products I'm calling here. I'll rename them to the blocks. So blocks map over the block, display here block name and block name here. And I will call it header, or actually I will remove the entire h1 like this, and also I will remove the page. I'll just leave here this div with the items we want to display. Okay, so that's the way how you can fetch the data on the client. So this is a client-side fetching, and now we need to provide this block list to the block page. So go to the blocks folder, page.jsx, and under the h1, let's write here block list like this. Okay, let's save this. Let's go back to the browser, and now I need to run my server, so I'll go back here, npm run dev. Now, as a refresh, I'll go to the blocks page. I'll go to the blocks page. Blocks map is not functional, right? So let's get back here. Block list. Blocks. Yeah, we are getting a variable blocks. Use SWR. API slash products. Yeah, this should be actually all right. So let me see what's one more time the issue. Blocks.map is not a function. So the data what we are retrieving from the client, they are not. The map is not recognized, so basically the data are probably undefined for some reason. Okay, let me take a look and this one more time. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, so this path should be fine. Fetch your function, so fetch HTTPS /path and then response .json. This should be also fine, I guess. Let me remove this div. Oh, I know why. Because from the SWR, you are not receiving the raw data, but you have here object with couple of properties, and the data are actually under the data property. So let's write here blocks.data actually .map, and now it should be fine. And the data are initially undefined because you are fetching on the client, so data are first undefined. So let's write here question mark. So this will catch the case when the data are undefined, and it will not throw the error. So let's save it this way with a question mark and the data. Go back here, let's refresh, and now it should work. And you can see there is small delay when you're displaying the data because now it's fetched the client side. So now go to the blocks, refresh here, go to the blocks. You can see that they are displayed after some time. On the products, they are displayed immediately. Okay, so that's the client-side fetching with use SWR package. What else I can show you? I can show you maybe suspense component, and then I guess we are done with this. Or actually, I showed you get static props, but I didn't show you get static paths. So whenever you are going to generate multiple pages on the server at the build time. Okay, so let's see the equivalent of the get static paths in the new Next.js 13. So let's get back here. I will create this page in blocks folder, this functionality in the blocks folder. Go to the blocks page.tsx, JSX. And here to create the equivalent of get static paths, you need to create here a function generate static params. So you will write here export async function get static params, get static actually not get but the generate static params like this. Okay, this is right here. This is equivalent to the get static paths in old Next.js. Okay, and it will just generate your params of the slugs. So first you need to get all the products. Unfortunately, we don't have this function here, but fortunately we have it in a block in our page.jsx, or not actually in a block list. We have this function. I have removed this function actually. So I will go to the products folder. I will go to the page.jsx in the products, and I will copy this function, get products. And I will go to the blocks and to the Slack page of JSX. Okay, so in a block detail page, and I will paste there this functionality for fetching data here. So we can fetch all the products. In the get static params, I will fetch this product. So right here const products equal await get products. This will get me all the products, and I will just return here products.map. I will map over the product. I will return from here object, curly brackets, where the object will have a Slack, and as a Slack we can use the product.name. Okay, and since our names are in this format, I will show you when we'll go here, you can see the names are in this format. Laptop or super shoes, I would like to lowercase them, and I would like to separate the spaces with the dashes. We can do it like this in the JavaScript. As we will be generating these pages, we'll just use a product name, but we will write here product name.replace. We'll write here regex expression to replace all of the spaces by the dashes. We will do it like this. This type of the slash, this type of the slash, and then s plus. All right, /g, comma. This will take all the spaces, and the second value will be replacement value. This will replace them by the dashes, and you will lowercase it. So you will add here to lowercase, like this. Okay, so this should generate pages at the build time with your product, with the product, how many products you have, that's how many pages you will generate. So when you will save this, and you will go to the terminal, I will shut this down, and I will write here npm run build. Remember, last time we had generated 7 pages, but now there should be much more pages generated. So after the build command, you should see here, I think 15 pages. Yeah, 15 pages. You can see generating static pages 15. And here we have a blocks slash, and for the block slash Slack, dynamic page was generated 8 pages. So blocks slash laptop, blocks slash super shoes, blocks slash fancy hat, and 5 more paths. So when I will copy this path, let's say blocks slash fancy hat, I will go here. I will go slash blocks slash fancy hat. I need to run my server, by the way. I will write here npm run dev. All right, blocks slash fancy hat. All right, and you can see hi there, block detail page, fancy hat. So this is generated on the server, and you are getting HTML provided to your browser. And this way, the page is much faster because it's not generated at the request time, but already at the build time. So when you are requesting the page, you already have the page generated, so you're getting the statically pre-generated content. Okay, so this way you can generate multiple pages. How can we create links to these pages? Pretty straightforward as well. Go to the code, and let's find here your block list. And actually not here, our page here where we're displaying all of the. Yeah, we can do it in a block list. Why not? Okay, let's do it in a block list. So here instead of the div, I will write here a link. If you want to use the link, you need to import link from next link. So actually up here, let's write here import link from next link. And to the link, you need to provide href, which will be the path to the page. We'll write here curly brackets, backticks, and write here slash blocks slash in the dynamic part of our page, which will be this version which we have been generating here. So go back here when you where you provide that replacement for the name, copy this replacement, and let's paste it here. And this should be block.name.replace. Block.name.replace. So as I mentioned, it will replace this name, which is in this format. It will just instead of the empty spaces, it will provide the dashes, and in lowercase it. Okay, so let's save it this way. Now we can take a look on our blocks. So go to the blocks, and here are the paths. Actually, I would like to have them under each other. So if you want to have them under each other, let's write here just div, which will be wrapping the link. All right, indent this, and let's copy the key. Copy the key here. Okay, let's save this now back, and you can see when you will navigate to the click on the path, you will go into /blocks /fast rollerblades and so on. So this way you can navigate to the detail page, which is statically pre-generated. All right, so now I guess we are going into the last feature. Let me see where I can display your last feature. I think we'll be previewing it on the product. So here we are getting our data. Let's create here in the products folder. Let's create here a new file. Let's call it product list, list.tsx, and copy everything from page.jsx. Actually, I'm calling it tsx. I would like to call it jsx. Copy everything from the page.jsx into the product list, and now it will be responsibility of the product list to display the data. So I will remove this h1 from here. I will call it product list on the product page, product list, like this, and I will get this product list to the page. So page.jsx, I will remove the fetching of the data. I don't need here use anything. All right, I don't need here this. And instead of the div here, I will just display product list, like this. Okay. Now you will save this. Everything should work as before. Let's get back here. Let's go to the products. When you look at the products, you can see there are products displayed as before, no changes at all. But now, with the new React.js and Next.js, the components are rendered on the server side. And there is a concept called streaming or streamlining, that your HTML document is sent as a stream into your browser. So it's not sent as a one big HTML file, which is rendered immediately, but it's sent as a parts of the HTML, which is streamed into your browser. This should affect the performance, especially on the slow network. So you can, some of the components that are maybe too large to render immediately, you can wrap them in the suspense. The suspense component like this, and you need to import suspense from the React. So import suspense from React, and you can provide your loading message or the loading component, which will be displayed while you are loading, you are streaming your HTML content into your browser. Actually, not the loading, but the fallback. Fallback it should be called. And here we can provide a component, let's say paragraph, where it will display loading products. Okay, like this. So when you will go to the browser, if you will refresh, you can see you're displaying first loading products, and then the products are displayed. And this actually, such a small pages as this, doesn't make much sense to provide it because the HTML will be pretty small. But if you have a huge project, then the suspense can be really useful because you can provide parts of the layout that can be displayed immediately. And then when you have some bigger layout of lots of components, it can be streamed into your browser and displayed after it's ready. Okay, so before it's ready, we'll display just loading products or maybe some loader, and then the products are displayed. Okay, so that's just one of the new features in the Next.js. And also you can create a normal loading component. So I can create here in the app folder a new file. I can call it loading.jsx. And I can write here export default function loading like this. And I've written here JSX div, and I'll add here loading. And now all of your content that is streamed into your browser will display it first loading. And then when the content is ready, the content will be displayed. So when I will save it like this, go back here, let's refresh, and I can go to any page. You can see, go to the home. Go to the home, let's go to the blocks. You can see for a short time, loading, 3 dots on every page. Okay, the second time it's on display because it's already cached, but the first time you will see loading, and 3 dots. Again, this is very beneficial when you have a large page. It's not really in this example. I can really show you the full impact of this. Okay, so I guess I covered all of the important features of Next.js 13. If something is not clear, just check the documentations. It's very good written. There are a lot of examples for everything I have covered here. You can also visit the documentation itself. I guess you can just click here on some link like this, and this will lead you to the documentation. Here's the beta documentation for Next.13. Remember, this feature I have covered here, this app folder, is still, lots of things can change. Also, it can be a little bit different while you're watching this video, but I just want to show you this very quick preview about these features, so you are aware of them, that this can become the standards later in the Next.js. Okay, so I will no longer waste your time here, and I hope to see you in some of my other videos. Cheers.